Hey guys, so I'm actually going to be filming a Q&A today. So I asked you all on Instagram, well it was today, but probably when this is uploaded, probably a few days time. So I asked everybody on Instagram for any questions. Mainly I was speaking to any girls in terms of their experience as being a female within the sort of business industry, entrepreneurship, SMMA, stuff like that. I got a lot of questions from guys as well, but they're all business related, so I thought I might as well just answer all of them, and then I'll probably do another Q&A maybe in like a week or so and open it up to everybody and just say hit me with all the questions that you have. So yeah, I've got like a bunch of questions here. I'm just gonna go through them. Some of them don't make sense, they're just like random words, so I'm gonna choose the ones that actually I understand. So the first question that I have is, what is my message copy for the prospecting tool that I use, so the software that I use? The reason why I don't give out my exact copy templates anymore, but like my messaging templates for LinkedIn, is just because it wouldn't work for everybody, and it doesn't work when everybody uses the same messaging templates, especially if you're targeting similar niches. It ends up looking really spammy. I had this problem last time when I spoke about a tool called Leonard, and I basically gave away my templates for everything in a module of Eman's course. I gave my templates like completely what I use as like a plug and play, and like I had people that I was reaching out to say like, oh, I've already had somebody like say this to me. So I realised that it was actually kind of stupid of me to go and put out exactly what I say, especially when a lot of people aren't going to be doing the same niche as me. They're not going to be targeting the same professionals, so it's not going to make sense. I think it's best for everybody to sort of understand their market and tailor the message so that it resonates with their ideal customer. It's probably better for you to actually go through the learning process and put together the things that you think will work, and it will just be more authentic. You'll understand it more. It won't be spammy or overdone. So yeah, I don't really share my exact copy. I'll give advice and general templates, but normally how you would write it will depend on who you're targeting, what industry it is, what your agency does, like the services that you offer. So yeah, that's that one. Hey, I would really like to learn from you. Are you open to be a mentor? That's really sweet. I mean, I have mentorship students, but I do paid coaching. I can't just be open to mentor everybody. Like I wish I could. I love helping people and like speaking to people. I'm probably better at helping others than myself. I'll always give a piece of advice to someone who has the same problem that I have, and then they'll go and solve it, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just do that myself as well? I wish I could help everybody, but I know if I started mentoring everybody, I would just like my own business wouldn't run. I wouldn't be able to develop myself more. If you're interested in coaching, then you can watch the value video below in the link. And it's basically like a free value video that takes you through what I do and my systems. And then at the end, you get the opportunity to schedule a free call with me for half an hour. I don't accept all of the applications if they're not a good fit, but if it's something that you're interested in terms of paid coaching, now that is something that you can do. The rest of my advice that's free is just my Instagram stories. My YouTube channel is the best way to just learn about my brain and just have everything that I speak about in general. And also my Facebook personal page. And by the time this video is out, yeah, I'm going to make myself accountable. My Facebook page will be open, it will be public. I'm just going to be posting content there about 4 to 5 times a week. So that will be a really good place for you to join and sort of connect with other members of the community that you want to bond with. Not in a weird way, that was really strange. Anyway, moving on. What's the next one? Have people or business owners, brackets guys, treated you differently because you're female? Yeah, I mean, obviously like this topic, it's really hard to sort of address and approach in a fair way. Obviously I'm a girl, so I know the female perspective of things. I'm not a dude. Like I know a lot of guys probably have had similar situations where they've not been respected, maybe because of their age or where they come from. But from my point of view, sorry, I'm just gonna put my hair up. It's getting heated and serious. Yeah, from my point of view, I have had a few experiences where I've been treated differently by guys in companies. To give you, what examples could I give? Mainly, to be honest, within I've done a lot of retail work and I've not really had anything within that space because there are a lot of females that work in retail and a lot of managers and people that are higher up tend to be women, or they work around women, so they wouldn't get away with it as much. In terms of corporate, yeah, there is one, but I might do a longer video on that and bring some ex-colleagues in. It wasn't anything like really bad. It's basically just a company that I worked for. There was a guy there who was the director and he was kind of like a bit sociopathic, narcissistic. How he spoke to people and how he acted wasn't very professional, and probably made some people feel very uncomfortable. But I'll probably talk more about that situation in a different video. Moving on from that part, I've had people treat me differently, especially, when I did the job that I just mentioned, so I used to actually do door-to-door. So I did door-to-door sales for an like MLM company, so it's multi-level marketing. And when we used to pitch, I'd basically go to businesses all around London. I will do a longer video on this just because it's like really interesting. But so I used to go to like all these businesses around London. You've probably seen me. To be honest, maybe you didn't recognize me now. But like I used to like walk around with my RSPCA t-shirt on, knocking on all the businesses and basically pitching the owners or the managers. When I used to do that, I had a few guys, I think I've mentioned this before in another video or in my Instagram stories. I've had guys tell me that I only had the job because of like my looks and my age and my gender, which was really frustrating. The first few times it happened, like because I was outnumbered or if I was in a dodgy area, like I went to a lot of places by myself, which I probably shouldn't have been to. Like there's been a few incidents that like I've had to call the police once because this man was like following me in this area where I was by myself. But as I said, I will do a longer video. It's hard to give a brief explanation without telling you everything, but there's just so much to cover. So yeah, I've had that from guys. I've had people, this I don't really take as an offense, but I've had a lot of people just be surprised and just be like, oh, you actually kind of know what you're talking about, or I didn't expect that from somebody like you. And when people say that, I know they don't mean it in a bad way. I used to be really shy, so I just wouldn't say anything. When people say that to me, I just get internally angry. And when like I had a few people be disrespectful towards me, or if there was like a big group of guys, like we used to pitch like construction sites and stuff, so I've had like big groups of guys catcall or like say things to me that weren't polite. And I got to the point where I'd actually just like, I got pretty confident and I just walk up to them and be like, can I help you with anything? Like, you're actually making me feel really uncomfortable. Do you have your area supervisor? I'd like to speak with them. It's not like a good way for you to be conducting yourself like professionally, blah blah. So I kind of like stopped giving a shit what people thought of me, and I just go and confront the situation and stand up for myself. But I say that's probably the worst in terms of jobs. I don't know if I've still got this. In terms of jobs, when it comes to what I do now in entrepreneurship, I've had a few experiences where I've nearly closed deals with people and then they've asked me out or like tried to date me, and then I've said no because I've got a boyfriend and I wanted to keep it professional. So I've been like, no, like it's a professional relationship, we can't meet or date or anything like that. And then they've gone ahead and like wanted to cancel the contract and not move forward. If there was another reason, like there could have been, but it just seemed kind of coincidental that when I said no, they then didn't want to carry on doing business. So there's a few things where it kind of makes you feel a little bit disheartened and you start questioning your ability with business. So I definitely went through phases with mindset. Probably still happens now, like if someone turns me down or if it's I can tell they've used me for a different reason, and they've wanted to speak to me not for the professional reason that I wanted to meet with them for, then I will start like judging myself. Or like I used to do it a lot more. I'd be like, oh, this is because I'm not good enough, I didn't provide enough value in this pitch, like I've obviously done something wrong for them not to be interested in doing business and be interested in something else. But more recently, and definitely now, I've realised that you've got to hold yourself to a much higher level of self-worth. You can't pin it on external factors. So now if something like that happens, I tend to just, like, I either don't want to do business with somebody if it's in a rude way, or if they've made me feel disrespected or small or not worthy. I will just cut them out and be like, look, I don't think we're a good fit to do business together. Best of luck with the future. And I'll just leave it, because I don't really want to be tied in with business with somebody that acts in that manner, in that way. But if it's, I think I've rambled about this so much. But if it's in a way, like, people will get surprised sometimes. Like if you're a young entrepreneur, if they don't expect you to know so much, be able to fix issues that them as a 30, 40, 50, 60-year-old couldn't do, you'll get a lot of people like, oh, like you actually know your stuff, or they might be a bit wary of you or not trust you because you've not done business together, maybe because you're younger, or if they've seen some sort of gender differentiation, I don't know. But like, it should never be disrespectful. And if it is, if someone's ever rude to you, don't do business with that person. Some people will be wary and they'll just be like, you're kind of young. But to be honest, either just use that situation to prove yourself and just provide the value, do the job, give the results as anybody else would, and earn their respect, or just don't continue with them. So yeah, I think I spoke for quite a while about that. But yeah, that's my take on that. Next question, were you fearful when you first started out? Yeah, obviously, like, I'm still fearful. Like, people, like, everything's scary when it's new. It doesn't mean that it's bad and that you're not going to do it. But definitely, I think if you're not, then you're probably not pushing yourself hard enough, or you're just extremely like confident and secure and just, you just don't give a shit and you just go and do it. If that's the case, hit me up, like, let me know what you're doing for that, if there's like a special remedy. But no, I was definitely fearful. I think especially when it's a career path and something that you hold a lot of value to. Like, for example, I've done so many jobs, I've been like all over the place in terms of what I wanted to do in life. I wasn't sure about anything, so not being sure can create insecurity. And when you're insecure about what you want to do and your ability, you definitely have to overcome mental barriers to actually push past that and go forwards and know that you can be successful at something. I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I think it's definitely something that is there. The fear tends to be attached to your ego, like your identity as a human being. To try and make this a bit more simple, it's basically we as humans, we want to stay safe, and our body has inbuilt protective mechanisms that we've had for years, just because it's evolutionary in order for us to survive. So like our basic survival instincts kick in terms of when our body is stressed or it produces a certain hormone that is attached to stress. Your body then wants to stay away from that stressor. So the stressor being the thing or the object that is inducing that fear, your body will try and get rid of that stress. So it will warn your body and be like, you need to fight it or flight, like run away. So it's a fight or flight response. I don't know if that's a bit sciencey, but basically when there's like a new situation that makes you feel scared, your body, your identity will try and hold you back and say, no, don't do it. Like, it's scary, it's not good. Come back to where it feels secure and warm and safe. Like, don't go and do that scary activity. And that applies to so many things on a basic level. So it could be cold calling. Just because you're scared of cold calling, it doesn't make you feel good, that fear. So your body will then go and try and make you procrastinate to avoid it, or it will try and talk you down. You'll have a negative voice saying like, no, don't do it, you can't do it, like there's no point, do it another day. And then you'll end up in this negative spiral where you just don't push yourself to do any of these scary things, because your body's natural response is to pull you back from actually doing it. So yeah, I've definitely felt fear. I think it's good to put yourself out of your comfort zone every day. Even if it takes you a longer time, you just need to push through it to then condition your mind and your body that you get like feel good response after you do that thing that you were scared of, that you know is good for your business or your career or your development in the future. So that got kind of deep. Let's go next one. A big problem dealing with stupid colleagues. Depends what you mean by stupid. Obviously, I don't really have colleagues, but I used to in all of the other jobs I used to do. So in terms of dealing with stupid colleagues, if it's retail or corporate, if by stupid you mean it, it depends on the situation that you're in. If it's a team-based work environment or individual. If it's team-based, always try and sort it out with the person directly in a polite manner. The thing that a lot of like HR or people like higher up in the system will get annoyed at is if you go to them each time there's a tiny issue and basically just bitch about that person. They're just going to say, look, like you kind of need to try and deal with it yourself first. And if it's actually a serious issue, if it's something really bad like assault or something like something that's really, really bad, then go to HR to sort it out. But if it's little petty things like they're not listening to you or they're being irritating or they're not pulling their weight in the team, then I would actually go and address that person directly and explain how it's making you feel, the situation. Be nice about it, but be direct. So I'd say go and sort it out, find out why they're acting that way and say like, look, is there something that I could do to help, which would mean that you wouldn't do this? Like try and be cooperative and sort out the situation together. And then if that doesn't work, then I'd say you could take it higher up if it's affecting your workspace to that extent. I think that's like the most advice I can give for that. There's probably other people more qualified or more qualified, like people that are maybe in that situation that could give you more advice. If anybody is that's watching this, then just comment below to help out this person who asked the question. Can you run an SMMA with Instagram? It depends what you mean by that. By running a social media marketing agency, do you mean generating leads from Instagram or like having your business profile? You'd have to give me some more context for that. In terms of lead generation, definitely you can lead generate using Instagram as a social media platform. You can generate leads from basically all platforms. It depends what type of leads you're getting, what type of business you're running, your online presence. To try and loosely answer your question, if you just build a personal brand, that's going to be key to bringing in more leads from your online presence, so from social media platforms. If you're active on Instagram, you're posting stories, you're building up a relevant community to what you're trying to sell down the road, then you can definitely sort of have leads that are going to help run your social media marketing agency. I think that's the most advice I can really give from what you've given me. And then the last question, this is really annoying me, sorry. What is the best way to start up? So in terms of starting your business in general, like your agency, the best way to start is to just start. Like, I know that sounds pretty like a weird answer to give, but the main mistake that I made, the mistake that lots of people I see make when they first start out, is just not doing it and worrying too much about having a perfect execution of the business. Don't have like a lot of people just, they build a business plan and like a presentation and they have everything like set out, looking perfect and neat, and they just never execute, and then they wonder why they haven't got results when they've been planning it for a year. My biggest piece of advice is to do it. Even if you do it wrong, it doesn't matter. Like you do it, you make a mistake, you fuck up, that's fine. Learn what you did, then do it again and do it better. And then it's just a process of accumulating those experiences and refining your process and your approach to things, and just carry on like split testing the little things until something works for you. If not, like you're just never gonna move forward. So for starting out, like figure out what financial vehicle you're actually going to choose to get you from point A to point B. If that is going to be social media marketing agency, for example, then the first thing you need to do is define your niche and your product. So figure out who you want to sell to, what's their biggest problem, and how you can solve that problem for them, and then how you're going to price it. And that's like your first step. I think that's all the questions in terms of Q&A. There's probably going to be more. LinkedIn funnel is broken, leads are not booking calls. By broken, do you mean it's a technical issue, or do you mean you've not done something right in the funnel and that's why your leads aren't converting? From what I understand, leads are not booking calls. That might be your messaging funnel is off, like you're approaching leads in the wrong way, and that's why they're not booking with you. I mean, there's so many variables to that statement. I'd have to know more information to actually be able to troubleshoot it. Next question. That one doesn't really make sense. Have you ever been banned or had your account restricted by LinkedIn for using automated services? No, I had a warning once at the very start, months ago, because I was sending out too many connection requests too early on in my Sales Navigator, like when I first got Sales Navigator. The key to using automated tools is by gradually increasing the frequency at which you're automating stuff. So if you've just picked a new software to use, I would say like on the first few days you want to start at a lower frequency and then gradually build up, and then the system that they have to detect the certain algorithms that you're using probably shouldn't pick up. On LinkedIn, if you're using Sales Navigator, it's a lot easier to use an automated system. So definitely if you're using a Chrome add-on or a tool that is automating your outreach, then definitely have Sales Navigator, and then just increase your frequency slowly. I think that's all the questions now. I'm probably going to do another Q&A. Oh my god, I can't speak anymore. I'll do another Q&A maybe in a week or two. But yeah, I think that's it for today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, not like loads of random questions, because I forget, just ask them to me on Instagram, and then I'll give you like a video answer in more detail through a YouTube video. But if you have any comments or something that really helped you out in this video, or something that you would have done differently, or anything that you'd add on to my answers to help out any other people that ask questions, then just feel free to speak to me in the comments below. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.